Okay, so this one is a story from the road. I've hitchhiked across Europe with a friend in 2013. You can hear more details about the whole thing in episode 32, as well as an interview that I've given, which I've released between episodes 47, 48 for the Radical Personal Finance podcast. Here's the piece. Enjoy. What have you got? I examined the coins in my hand carefully. From no angle did they amount to much. About €7 or so. You? 120, Laszlo said curtly. The Viennese morning light was harsh. I tried to cheer him up. That's a coffee. Perhaps. Perhaps it wasn't the morning light that was so harsh. Our eyes, tired after a night of stolen sleep in an Austrian border village's train station, might have been at fault. The station manager walked in, looked at us for a second, and claimed that we are waiting for the morning train. We didn't disagree, slept a bit, and snuck out a few minutes before it arrived with the dawn. We hitchhiked to the edge of Vienna and walked to the center. It was the harsh rays of reality that bounced off those coins that morning. We weren't supposed to be here. I bought a bread in a store. Laszlo bought a coffee. We had to do something. He was my roommate, and we dreamt of travels together in the warm summer light of home. As broke students, most options were out of the question. But we did have schemes. Selling postcards, busking, drawing caricatures, selling retro photographs. These schemes emboldened us, so when we went to Eastern Slovakia for a student event, we didn't return as we should have. Young and free of academic responsibilities for the first time, we set out west on a whim. We'd travel on the car seats of strangers and sleep on their couches. It was autumn and cold, and we were a few decades late for this sort of adventure, as hitchhiking had peaked, maybe in the 80s. But it didn't matter. Now we found ourselves with no postcards, no instruments, no camera, no drawing skills, and €7 between the two of us, minus the price of the bread. We weren't, however, alone. A miserable-looking old woman sitting on a narrow storefront ledge. A man accosting passerbys, a tall man with a horsehead mask going around with a plastic coffee cup. They would be our new co-workers. We had found our calling. First we tried begging with a cup, but as we only had human heads, financial abundance eluded us. We needed our own competitive advantage. We picked up spare packing paper from a bakery and a free pen from a newsstand. This paper would make a sign. On the first line, we wrote, "For beer." That was a lie, however, so we crossed out the beer. The second line simply said train. That was a lie too, but the truth that we were collecting for food rang untrue on the opulent Viennese high street. With a recommended donation, our sign finally sounded like this. For beer, beer crossed out, train, maybe 50 cents. We set up shop near the old woman. She stared sullenly to the ground, ragged and dark. We, on the other hand, smiled and made eye contact, respectable and middle-class looking. I say we, but it was really only Laszlo. I copped out saying I'd look out for the cops. Yes, I timidly hovered around him, but he was the true adventurer. He also had a more charming smile than me. It must have been the right choice, though, because soon we were rolling in dough. Shoppers stopped, read the sign, chuckled, and dropped a coin or two. Our cup held €12 in less than an hour. The old woman, on the other hand, collected nothing. Our confidence was soaring. We beat the pros at their own game. And then a young, well-dressed Eastern Asian woman approached with her purse wide open. She stopped in front of us. A 10 euro note was ascending in her blessed hands, its last corner barely hanging on to the wallet. "Did you lose your wallets?" her angelic voice said. "No," I replied with an apologetic smile. "We just don't have money." "Why travel if you don't have money?" Her face turned to a demonic frown. Her claws tucked the note back in, and she walked away. Our spirits broken, we beat a retreat. A bit later, savoring our very own 1 euro cheeseburger and someone else's leftover fries, our thoughts settled. We did look fashionably distressed for a while, but we couldn't hide our genuine need for too long, and Charity's fickle gaze found us out too. Few people want to help someone who actually needs help. Perhaps this vocation is best left to automotive magnates and wealthy bankers after all.